What's up, YouTube? This is Chris, and this is my channel, Bar911970. Thank you, as always, for checking out my video. Alright, guys, this actually, to me, is something that I probably couldn't have said better myself, but it's a quote from somebody. Their name is Cory Booker from Newark, New Jersey, and I saw somebody posted this on my Facebook page, so I wanted to read this, because especially recently, if you see my last video, you'll see some comments from some people. One claimed to have been a friend, but obviously I'm not worried about that anymore because the person, actions speak louder than words. And another person who has made several comments to the point where they're saying I'm a Satan worshiper and all this other stuff, which I find very silly at this point, because when you're talking about love and sharing and peace and harmony and working together, that's kind of the opposite of what Satan represents. So if you want to just say stuff because, you're angry, that's fine. But I find the hypocrisy with the people that tend to be the most religious, the ones that are programmed more than anyone, that believe in their faith so blindly that they will not listen to anything alternative. They tend to be the most violent. They tend to be the most judgmental, the meanest, the nastiest people, which is basically the opposite of what religion is supposed to teach you. So if you're going to take anything from it, at least take the spirituality of it, of loving thy neighbor and working with people in unity and peace and harmony. They tend to be the most violent. I mean, who better than somebody that has a problem with abortion because of the fact that it goes against God, thou shalt not kill, and they go about it by blowing up abortion clinics. Makes perfect sense. So this quote that I saw that somebody posted, I think is something that people need to hear, and especially for the people who are going to attack people because of their opinions and their own beliefs. And I find it very strange that some people will go out of their way to shoot anger at other people. And the funny part is, I've told people all the time, you don't have to agree with everything I say. You don't even have to like it. But know that it's my right to make whatever universe I want, whatever amusement park I want, whatever movie I want to write. And I am allowed to have my own opinions. You can disagree, but to come here to try and bash me and think you're going to change anything is just, using your own negativity, which will eventually come back on you anyway. So it's really not effective. I don't understand it. Excuse me, but let's read this quote. All right, and this is in quotes. Before you speak to me about your religion, first show it to me in how you treat other people. Before you tell me how much you love your God, show me how much you love all his children. Before you preach to me your passion for your faith, teach me about it through your compassion for your neighbors. In the end, I'm not as interested in what you have to tell or sell as in how you choose to live and give. And I think that's a great quote, because a lot of these people who seem to have major problems with what I've been talking about, especially recently, if you go on their videos, or lack thereof, well, basically if you go to their channel, you will see nothing of production from these individuals. And that goes throughout the time on this channel. The ones that have the most hatred, you go on their channels, they produce nothing. And even if they produce anything, it's not beneficial, or it's not even theirs. So I find it funny that the people that tend to be the most full of hate are the ones who are not doing anything positive themselves, who go very much against what their religions supposedly are there to preach. So you may not like what I say. You may not even agree with it. But the people who have the hatred is on you. It doesn't affect me, and it doesn't affect my subscribers that are here to learn from a different perspective that they feel comfortable with and resonate with. How people have such lack of respect for other people's right to think in any way they want. And some people have the arrogance to believe it is their duty to go somewhere where they weren't really invited and say such nasty, hateful, harmful things, and say to themselves and justify it to themselves that it's okay and it's based on a loving God. Not for nothing, if that's what God's all about, then I'm glad I don't believe in it in the way you do. Because like I've always said, belief is irrelevant. So if you want to keep coming back to my channel and telling me what I'm doing wrong, accusing me of being a Satanist and wishing all harmful things on me and making videos crying like a 5-year-old, that's perfectly fine. If that's what you want to do with your energy, if that's what you want to do with your time on this planet, being nothing but basically an angry crybaby, well, that's your decision. But if you end up having a heart attack before you ever hit the age of 50, or you have some kind of ulcer or some kind of stress-related disease, don't be too let's try that again. Don't be too surprised how it got there. So if anything, you know, I keep my videos raw. I don't edit my videos. So as you can see, I make mistakes every now and then, and I don't worry about that because to err is human, and I don't need to be perfect. I don't want to pretend to be perfect. I just want to be me. And with all the things that I've been researching recently, I've never felt happier. I feel like I have a purpose. I feel like all the things that I've been so depressed and angry and confused about all of my life have come to answer. So if somebody wants to believe that's Satan, well, then I guess he's pretty amazing then if that's the case. But it has nothing to do with that. There is no such thing as Satan. It's the same as Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, and all the other mythological creatures you want to talk about. You can't tell me how to run my life. And if all you want to do is be angry, then hey, more power to you. So one of them I had to block. One of them I just find so hysterically funny at this point, I don't even want to block them. I just want to watch and see how stressed out this person can become, making judgments about someone else because he doesn't like what he hears. And yet he continues to keep listening to it. So to that individual, you know, good luck with your conquest of trying to bring me down and send all this hate and all this other stuff. You sent me a link via text to watch your video. I had no desire to see it. I watched about 13 seconds of it and laughed and shut it off. But see, here's the difference. You have to send a link to me for me to even remotely know you've made a video. And yet you come here constantly. Judgment, judging, having attitudes, not liking everything I say. Well, how dumb is that? Dude, seriously. And you pretended to be a friend. This is not what friends do. And if this is what your idea of friends are, then you probably don't have very many. So anyway, I'm sure I'll be getting lovely texts later on. I don't care. I'm just going to ignore them at this point. And to my subscribers, don't worry about it. I like talking about this stuff because the good and the bad, it's all about being able to focus on it and showing that there's no fear. That's why you see there's no emotion as far as now I want to fight somebody or something. I've grown so much since those days. And you gotta take the good with the bad. You can't have everything wonderful and talk about it and how great everything is, but yet be afraid of the bad things. Because like I've always said, fear is a choice. And I choose to stand up for who I am and what I believe in and what I stand for, regardless of some of the nasty things people say. But they really need to look in the mirror, because the only people that are going to get the negativity that they're protruding out to the world is themselves. It may not come today, it may not even come tomorrow, but eventually it's like a boomerang. It's always going to come back to the person who threw it. So have fun with it. So thanks for the experience, but I'd like to say to these gentlemen, no thank you. It's my amusement park. I will build it and run it any way I choose. And you're not welcome at my park. Thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. And don't forget to have your trolls and angry people spayed or neutered. Peace.